Hey, we all know we should be eating microgreens, but there's a couple of problems. Number one, we should all be eating a lot more than we're currently consuming. Number two, microgreens are pretty expensive if you're buying them retail at the grocery store or farmer's market. And number three, growing them in the traditional way with soil is a pretty tedious process. Now we've come up with a bunch of solutions for it, but our best one yet is this candy tray. We're going to talk about that one today. And so far, this is our best DIY project that's very easy to do, and it allows you to grow a variety of microgreens whenever you want. So you can either grow a bunch of microgreens like this at one time in a bunch of different containers, or you can grow several varieties in a small candy tray like this, like what we're going to show you. You see, they call microgreens a superfood, and that's kind of confusing because it lumps them all into one category, kind of like plants or birds or bread. They're all not created equal. Some are higher in vitamin A, C, K, beta carotene, and sulforaphanes. So if you're just consuming a small amount of one type of microgreen, you're probably not getting the benefits that you're expecting. Me, I like to think of them as part of a balanced diet. And this candy tray allows you to grow a variety of them in a small space. So if you've been watching our channel, you know that we're coming up with unique ways to make growing microgreens as easy as can be. Now the traditional way of growing with soil is tedious. You have to get your soil, pack it down, watch out for fungus gnats. The soil can have all kinds of diseases. And even after you grow and harvest your microgreens, you've got a bunch of soil that you have to keep purchasing, or it takes months and months to compost. So we grow with hydroponics using my self-watering adapters. And we use grow mediums that you can use over and over again, such as these clay pebbles or pea gravel, which we used in the candy tray. After planting things out, it's pretty much set it and forget it. We keep things covered until they germinate, pull the lid off, and just let it go. Now besides just growing and eating lots of microgreens, we also plant some out to grow into baby greens and even mature plants. That way you get more bang for your buck. You'll always have microgreens, baby greens, and mature plants going in what we call the continuous harvest system. And whenever you harvest, you just replant your microgreens. Start the process over without having to till up your entire yard and wait for the next season. So we're going to show you how we put one of these together. It's very easy, and all of the supplies that you might need will be linked down in the description below. So if you're ready, make sure you're following this channel, give this video a like, and leave any questions you might have down in the comments. Now let's go grow some microgreens. Now we started off with a candy tray, just like this. That one's round, this one's rectangle. I'll be putting one of these together soon. Now we like this because it has several different containers. And in each one we can grow a different type of microgreen. It's got a center container where we are going to put our self-watering adapter. This will make the system set it and forget it. It keeps a constant level of water in the bottom. The roots know where to go. And this allows the top of your substrate or grow medium to stay dry. That cuts down on your chances of mildew and damping off. Now this container had a Lazy Susan on the bottom, so you can spin it around. I think it's kind of cool. The first thing I'm going to do is drill a bunch of holes in the center container. I'm using a 1/4-inch drill bit. Now in the outer containers where the microgreens are going to be growing, I'm only drilling one larger hole. I found using a step drill bit worked a lot better. I just clean everything up and put the containers back in and fill each one of them up with pea gravel that I got from the home improvement store. You can get a big bag, 40 or 50 pounds, for about $5. That's a whole lot cheaper than clay pebbles, but that would probably work too. Now I fill this 1-liter bottle up with nutrient solution. This is a bottle that had alkaline water. I think it worked good. Now the nutrients that I'm using is General Hydroponics MaxiGrow. All of the stuff that you've seen growing here is grown with that. Now if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I've always used Master Blend, and you're free to use that. But I want to make this easy for everyone. Master Blend was a little finicky with several parts that you had to mix together in a certain way, whereas the MaxiGrow, all you need is 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon. That's it. Now since we're dealing with tiny sprouts, we're only going to use 1 teaspoon per gallon. Believe it or not, everything that you've seen growing here is done with 1 teaspoon per gallon. First thing I want to do is fill a little bit of the nutrient solution into the bottom of the container. Now I do this so that when we first flip the bottle over, a lot of the nutrients don't come out to fill the bottom reservoir. That way we start our grow with a full bottle. I'm using our self-watering Coke bottle adapter that fits on the 16-ounce and 20-ounce pop bottles, but it also fits on a 1-liter bottle. So after we put the adapter on the bottle, we just flip it in. It's that easy. Now throughout the grow, we want the top layer of the pea gravel to stay dry. But when we first start out, the seeds are going to need a little moisture to germinate. So I'm just spritzing them with a little water. No need to use nutrients at this point. Now all we do is sprinkle a pinch of microgreen seeds onto each one. This is where you can have fun. My first containers, I'm going to use a little red cabbage. And in a few more, I'm going to use red garnet amaranth to add some color. In the final container, I'm going to grow some wasabi flavored mustard greens. These are awesome. And I give everything 1 more spritz of water to make sure the seeds are going to germinate. And then they do need to be covered up. I noticed this cover, the handles came off pretty easy. So I just cut a hole in the center using my jigsaw with a fine-tooth blade. Then I sanded it to clean up the edge a little bit. Fits perfect. Now if you set this in a dark place, you can just leave it as be. Since I'm leaving mine outside in my shade house, I'm going to cover it with a little foil to block out the light until germination. Alright, after 2 days we go and check it, and I can see there's condensation inside. We're in Florida, it's a lot of humidity. You can see that the seeds are starting to germinate. A little amaranth, red cabbage. The mustard greens are really taking off. Now if yours looks dry, you can spritz it with a little water. But if you see any moisture in it like this, just leave it be. Cover this back up. Come check it in another couple of days. Now at this point you can see all the seeds are doing just fine, and there's still a lot of dampness in the container, so we're not going to do anything to it. The amaranth and the cabbage aren't sprouting as fast as the mustard greens. So when we cover this back up, I'm going to leave the mustard greens uncovered so they can start getting some light. A few days later, and the mustard greens are pushing up on the lid, it's time to take it off. Because we have the self-watering adapter on there regulating the water level at the bottom, we don't have to do anything. We're just going to let this go another 5 to 7 days. Alright, now here's our microgreens, and as you can see, the mustard greens and the cabbage look like they're about ready to harvest. Well, the amaranth still needs a couple of days. This is the beauty about the candy tray and the removable compartments. Now we can take what we want out, harvest it, replant it, and not disturb the other microgreens. So the bottle with the self-watering adapter is regulating 5 different microgreens. So we'll harvest these up. beautiful little crop of microgreens grown with barely any care. This was so easy, anyone could do it. Now let's replant it. Here's how I reuse the pea gravel. You can pull your plants out and shake them really hard. Most of the rocks fall off of the roots. This will all be going in our compost pile. Now instead of pulling them out and shaking them off, you could just dump the whole thing in. Now I fill a couple of gallons of water in here and stir it around. The pea gravel is going to instantly sink to the bottom and all the organic material is going to be floating around in the water. I just try to catch as much as I can, set it in my compost pile, dump out the excess water. Now we just do this a few times. Now if you let your microgreens go too long and you got a little bit of algae in here, you can always throw in a capful of bleach, a little hydrogen peroxide, or even vinegar. Let that sit overnight and make sure you rinse it really, really well. This one, we're just going to toss in a strainer. And I set this out in the sun for about a week, sometimes longer, until I need it again. Refill the container with pea gravel. Seeds. Cover these up, start the process all over again. In about a week, these guys have sprouted up, and the initial cabbage that was still in there is ready to be harvested. I like harvesting most of my microgreens fresh instead of cutting them, putting them in the refrigerator where they get pushed to the back and end up in the compost pile anyway. Now, some of these that grow faster, like this cabbage, will smother out the amaranth if it gets too big. So be careful with which ones you have side by side. Now the amaranth looks really pretty, but I think this would have been a better choice to have just red cabbage and the mustard greens in here. Maybe I'll start another container with just red amaranth. But that's it really in a nutshell. Easy as can be, and you can do this over and over and over again. You can pull out the center container, clean that out if you need to. And if you start to get algae on the whole thing, you can pull each one of these containers out and wipe out the middle, put them back in. All in all, it's a great little microgreen grower that allows you to grow a variety of microgreens in little time with little care. It was easy to make, and with our self-watering adapters, it makes the system set it and forget it. So if you guys are interested in the adapters, check out my Etsy store where this Coke bottle adapter that we used in the video is on sale. Buy one and get two free. Our other bigger adapters are buy one get one free. And if you want a really cool deal, catch me on Whatnot. If you haven't signed up over there before, you get a $15 credit to shop with. And I put a set of these in my shop for $15. So you pretty much get these for free, you just have to pay for taxes and shipping. Our other adapters are in there too. Then make sure you catch our live auction on Saturday nights, about 8 p.m. Eastern, where we give away lots of free microgreen seeds every 10 minutes. All you have to do is hang out and enter the giveaway every time it happens. It's just clicking one button. We'll have loads of fun over there, and everybody learns a lot too. So come join the people over there that are growing lots of microgreens. Lift, inspire, keep on growing, be the change. We'll catch you next time.